Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, or you find a way to lose, or you can find a way to go from feeling that everything is sweet to everything being sour real quick when the money ain't right. So now, Saul Alvarez is a little frustrated with PBC. Now, you can understand his frustration. If it's true, what's being reported, that the money is just not there, and that the fight that he wants, right? Because, I'm going to be honest with you, only the fly on the wall knows what's true. We're just having a conversation. But let's say it's true, he really does want to fight Jamal Charlo, and that Al Heyman somehow there's an issue with money, right? Bottom line is, if Canelo isn't getting what he wants, he's going to be frustrated. You got to understand, he went from Eddie Hearn and Dazn, where they paid him all the money they guaranteed him. They treated him like a king, right? They gave him the red carpet treatment. This man goes over to PBC. All this shit with Showtime and PBC and Amazon Prime, it doesn't seem like things are working out the way Canelo had envisioned and the things he was promised. Maybe he's not going to get that. But word on the street is that Saul Alvarez is looking to get back over to Dazn with Eddie Hearn. And what he's looking to do is he's looking to have two fights over there. He's looking to fight, like I said, Berlanga and then Munguia. Now, if that materializes, I don't know what to think. The Munguia fight's not bad, but Berlanga, hey, look, most people say Canelo putting duck sauce on the fried rice. And those who don't say that, the others are his fans, and those are the ones who are saying Canelo can do what he wants. But there are people out here now, man, who just are really frustrated, and they're saying they're tired of him ducking. And let me tell you, if he fights Berlanga, no one's gonna understand why. Even the money, they just don't want to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. Everybody right now wants to hear Canelo is going to fight David Benavidez, and we all know that's not happening. It's frustrating. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if he doesn't fight him in May, Benavidez in May, right? We know it's not gonna happen. There should have at least be something cemented in place to where he's fighting David Benavidez after. If you come over to a network or you sign with a promoter or an advisor, right? And you have 3 fights, I would think it would be mapped out for you. These are going to be your 3 fights. This is the backup plan. But it doesn't seem like they have that in place. And Canelo Alvarez is a guy who wants to be able to plan, long term and have an idea of what's coming. And it sounds like over there at PBC, they don't really have that structure in place. So Saul Alvarez is like, shit, I should have never left over there with Dazn and Eddie Hearn. The problem is they weren't. I think they were losing money big time by having Canelo Alvarez over there on Dazn. There was a report that came out where Eddie Hearn was talking about, Canelo, he's an outstanding fighter, but it just felt that as far as the business relationship and the return, that they weren't getting the return that they hoped for. Whether they're making a profit or not, I personally don't think so. But if they were, I don't think it was the kind of profit that they expected, especially with pay-per-view and everything else. I mean, Canelo Alvarez, he's not doing 1.5 million in pay-per-view, so he was missing the mark, and it didn't work out the way they were hoping. But bottom line for Canelo Alvarez, if they can work things out over in PBC, I mean, you got David Benavidez. We know that he'll probably never fight him. You got Jamal Charlo. Sounds like that's possible. You got David Morrell, which, he'll probably never fight him. You got Earl Spence, which is more than possible. And then you have Boo Boo Andre. So in my opinion, I think if Canelo and PBC can work things out, as far as his next two opponents, I think it'll be two out of these three names: Jamal Charlo, Boo Boo Andre, or Earl Spence Jr. That's honestly what I think. And if they can't work that out, I don't know what happens with the contracts and all that shit. I don't know if there's gonna be lawsuits, or I don't know if there's a clause in there that says that they can't deliver, the contract's nullified. But I can't blame Saul Alvarez for saying, you know what, let me try to work something out with Eddie Hearn. But $35 million for a fight, $40 million for a fight, to think he can go back over to the zone of Eddie Hearn and that they're gonna keep giving him the money they were giving him before, like, that's off the table. But he'll probably still walk into something where he's making, damn good money. But this just could just show you that when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, his run as the cash cow of the sport, that could be, coming to an end. We just have to wait and see how it plays out. But there are a lot of people who just feel like, when it comes to Canelo Alvarez and this whole thing about his next two fights not being with Al Heyman, and this is being reported by Michael Benson, it's crazy. It's crazy, but this kind of gives a little bit of credit to that guy Rick Glacier, who's out here saying that PBC doesn't have money, they're falling apart. And, it's crazy. But anyway, more to come on what Canelo Alvarez is going to do next. Seems like a lot of these fighters on PBC, they're not happy right now. And I think when you got a guy like Canelo Alvarez, if he comes out and he hasn't said nothing yet, but if he doesn't speak positively about his experience, I think that cannot help the PBC, especially the direction they're going. And I just wonder if Canelo comes out and speaks negatively about him and he ends up filing a lawsuit, will others follow? Because there's so many fighters on PBC who aren't fighting. And some people say, well, they've been overpaid over the years, so they have more than enough money sitting aside to where they should be comfortable. My thing is, you're not in anybody's pocket. You don't know. I don't know. But I just don't think Al Heyman is the kind of guy to have gotten the trust of all those fighters to just let them fall on their face now. So that doesn't sound right either. But that being said, y'all keep cool. More to come on Saul Alvarez. Shit ain't sweet over there at PBC right now, is what it sounds like. But who knows? And a week from now, we may get some news that everything worked out. Canelo's happy. PBC, everything's straightened. Eddie Hearn and this whole Berlanga Munguia deal, that's all gets set aside. You just never know when it comes to the sport of boxing. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.